Hi, I'm Alan.
And I'm Shelley.
We were planning on starting a YouTube channel, but we've kind of stepped it up a little bit because of the situation at hand. One thing I'd like to mention is my name is Alan Taylor. If you know me, great. If you don't, I would like to think that we're now friends. I'm going to have some information on here that I'm really hoping will be of benefit to you, because I have spent 10 years in patient transfer, and during that 10 years, 5 of it was spent creating policies, implementing protocol, and training people on the use of personal protective equipment, PPE. This is what you're seeing an awful lot of people using right now. You see people using this stuff in grocery stores, at Walmart, and a lot of them are not using it properly. This is a big concern of mine, because if you're not using it properly, sometimes it can actually be worse than not using it at all. Now, I am certified to test people with 3M N95 respirators. You're seeing an awful lot of people wearing these, as well as things that look like it. Unfortunately, they are not working the way that they would like them to work, and they are unaware of this. I'm hoping that you guys will be able to see this and understand how this stuff works, when you should use it, if you should use it. First of all, if you are paying attention to the news, there's an awful lot of things going on with COVID-19. There's posts all over the place. Some of them, they're fear-mongering, and it's misinformation. There's also an awful lot of people out there that seem to be a little bit less concerned about it than maybe they should. I'm hoping that by the time I'm done here, you'll have a little bit more of an idea of what you need to do to protect yourself. First of all, if you look up the websites for the World Health Organization and Community for Disease, CDC, quick, what is that?
Community for Disease Control.
If you look up websites for the WHO, World Health Organization, and CDC, Community for Disease Control, you'll notice that what they're saying is that you do not need to wear masks, you do not need to wear gloves. This is something that a lot of people are doing right now. You're seeing it everywhere. It's not necessary. Clean your hands. Use hand sanitizer. If you can't find hand sanitizer, use something different. This may be a little bit of a shock to you, but soap and water works very well. Wash your hands. Very important. That will do an awful lot more for you than wearing masks and gloves. What you're seeing right now is you're seeing an awful lot of people in grocery stores, and they're wearing all of these different masks. You're seeing them walking on the streets. You're seeing them in different settings where you've never seen people wearing these masks before. And it's very disconcerting to an awful lot of people. And what they don't realize, and what I'm hoping you'll understand when this is over, is the use of these masks and these gloves, although not necessary, if you don't understand how to use them, it's going to be worse than not using them at all. One of the biggest concerns that I see are people that are wearing these masks here. This is an N95 respirator. Now, this particular respirator here is for medical purposes. That's great, except if you haven't been fitted for it, if you haven't got the right size on and you're not wearing it properly, it is absolutely useless. You're wasting your time. So a lot of people out there are wearing these thinking that they are protected. This, when worn properly and sized properly, can stop the disease, the virus COVID-19, from getting through the mask. The weave on it is very tight. The regular face masks that you see, a lot of people are wearing them, they will not stop it. But what they are doing is, if they wear them properly, they're stopping themselves from touching their face, they're stopping themselves from getting a cold, which if you get a cold, you will get a weakened immune system. And by coughing, you're spreading those germs all over the place. And if you cough, somebody else gets that. If they get a cold and they have a weakened immune system, if they do wind up getting COVID-19, they can't fight it off as well either. So sometimes people are wearing these, and if they're wearing them properly, they are mildly effective. But the problem is you're seeing an awful lot of people that are wearing these, they're not wearing them properly. I have seen so many people out and about wearing a mask over their mouth, but their nose isn't covered. that's a waste of time and it's a waste of money. That mask is doing absolutely no good. If your entire face is not covered, it's doing nothing. So I want to make sure when I'm done here that you understand how to put these masks on and when you should change them. That is very important. And people are walking around wearing gloves. Now these gloves in this particular picture here, you'll notice that both of these people are only wearing one glove each. I was in the grocery store the other day and I saw this. Now these pictures are just from one quick visit to a grocery store. So understand that this is happening all over the place and it's becoming very annoying to watch because I know that these people are not doing what they want. They're not protecting themselves. The lady is wearing black medical type gloves. She's wearing one right now. I saw her in the store earlier wearing both. She took the glove off so she could pick up a package and read it. Then she put her hand on the cart, on the shopping cart. And then later on I saw her, she put the glove back on. That does nothing. You're just spreading the germs all over the place faster. He's wearing one glove, but the gloves that he has are those neat little gloves that you can buy at the dollar store when winter's coming on. They keep your hands nice and warm. They're knitted gloves. That's not going to do anything. The viruses, even colds, will get through that. So that's a waste of time. This person here is walking around wearing gloves, and she's also wearing a James Dean style face mask. She's wearing a bandana across her face. This is not going to protect her like she thinks it will. Sure, it's going to help a little bit if she sneezes, but she thinks that this is going to stop her from getting COVID-19. It is not. It's just going to mean that when she does get it, she's going to be a fashion don't. So that's doing absolutely nothing for her. So a lot of these people are wearing these things and they have no idea they're not protected. This gentleman here is wearing a medical N95 respirator. It's a waste of his money. Because if you'll notice in this picture, he's got a full beard. You cannot wear one of these masks if you have a full beard. A lot of people that know me probably know that the entire time that I was in patient transfer, I did not have a beard. That's because I had to wear these masks. When I was off the road, I didn't have a beard because I had to show people how to put these masks on. If I can't put it on and make it seal, I can't show them how to do it. So he's got gloves on and he's got a mask on and he thinks he's completely protected. This is a false thought for him. He's thinking he's safe. He is not. He's not doing what he wants. So you're seeing these people walking around and they look like they're very well protected, but they could be spreading the disease faster than you could possibly imagine. They could be getting the disease faster than they could even think possible, because if they're not wearing these things properly, it's not going to work. I've seen people put gloves on first thing in the morning and they're walking around all day wearing these gloves. That will do absolutely nothing. It's a waste of time. You're getting germs on that glove. You're now putting that glove on your face and what's happening? Well, you've just gotten germs on your face. If you don't know how to use these things, they're more dangerous because you have this false thought that it's going to protect you. And to make matters even worse, what you're seeing with an awful lot of these people is after they're done with their gloves, what do they do with them? They throw them on the ground so that somebody has to come and pick them up. In this case here, probably the person from the grocery store. He's going to come in, pick up those gloves. He's going to go in, throw them out, and then he's going to handle your produce for the next time you come into the store. So wearing those gloves, discarding them on the ground like that, congratulations. You've just made it so that he can take those diseases and bring them all back to you. All of those efforts out the window. So first of all, I want to talk about the N95 masks because this is something that I have been trained by 3M. The N95, and calling it an N95 mask is actually a misstatement. It's an N95 respirator. These were developed by 3M to have very close-knit fabric. It makes it very hard for diseases to get through. Colds can't get through, the flu can't get through, and COVID-19 is about the same size of a virus as the flu. So if the flu can't get through, COVID-19, it is presumed can't get through either. But the problem is you have to be tested. If you are not tested for these masks, to make sure that you've got the right size mask, because there are many different sizes, and it doesn't have a good seal around, if you are not tested for this, you've just wasted your time putting on that mask. It's no different than wearing one of those cool little medical masks that you see in the hospital that you're supposed to put on when you have a cold, because the flu can get inside that, and so could COVID-19. So make sure, if you have these masks, know how to use them, know when to use them, know that you've been tested. If you haven't been tested, get rid of it. It's a waste of your time. I'm going to go over how to put some of these masks on, because if you know how to put it on, even if it is not going to protect like an N95 respirator, you may feel a little bit more comfortable knowing that at least you've got that protection from colds. If you get a cold, your immune system is going to be weakened. At least you can stop that from happening. But remember, if you leave it on all day, it's not going to do a darn thing for you. This particular mask here, this is an N95 respirator. There's very different looking respirators. This is one that I used to fit people for, and I used to use this one myself. This is my size. Now it's got 2 rubber bands. Very important that you use those rubber bands properly, and it's very important that you put the mask on properly. You place the mask over your mouth and nose, and I am sorry, I have to take my glasses off for this. Put the mask over your mouth and nose, and then you take the 2 rubber bands, and you take one. It goes below your ears, the other one goes on top of your ears. Now you take the mask from the top and the bottom and you pull it apart. This piece on the top, this is metal. It's a little metal tab. If you do not put that metal tab over your nose and push down so that you get a good seal, nothing happens. It's a waste of time. Pull this right down at the bottom. Make sure there are no folds anywhere in that seal. Now, myself, because I've been tested on this, I know that this mask would protect me from COVID-19. If this was not my correct size, this mask would protect me from a cold, but it won't protect me from COVID-19, it won't protect me from the flu. So this particular mask, very important for me if I'm ever in a situation where I'm going to be handling people that have the flu or COVID-19, this would protect me. It won't protect you from those things. The cold, yes. COVID-19, no. To take it off, grab the bands. Pull it off your face. Do not touch the front of this, because the front of this is contaminated. If you take your hand and place it on the front of this, you're contaminating your hand and you're now spreading germs all over the place. So I'm going to put that one aside, and there's some other masks. These ones here, these are the ones that most people are wearing. These are the ones that you can get in the hardware stores, at your local Home Depot. These are called dust masks. A lot of people are looking at these saying, hey, these are the medical masks that you can get in the medical supply stores, and they're an awful lot cheaper. Now, this one here is a one-size-fits-all. They lie. One size does not fit all. It does not seal properly for everyone. But these were not meant to stop COVID-19 or the flu. These were meant to stop dust particles. The weave in these are not as tightly woven together. So this may not even stop the common cold. This is something you need to be aware of. These are used for the purpose of stopping dust when you're sanding, or stopping anything that's in the garage from getting through. Dust, sawdust, any dirt like that. It's not very tightly woven, but you put it on the same way. You put the mask on, and then you place the band, and this one only has one band. Goes over top of the ears. Pull it down, pinch that metal tab. If you don't pinch the metal tab, it doesn't seal properly. Make sure there are no folds. Now this one here, I can tell you right now, with me wearing this, as I breathe out, I can feel air coming out of here. If you can feel air coming out of it, that means that you don't have 100% seal. That means that it's not going to stop diseases from getting through. Keep that in mind if you're using these. Again, if you sneeze, this is going to contain all of that stuff, all that mucus. All that stuff is going to be kept within here. So if you are wearing this and you have a cold and you're out and you have to do some shopping, if you sneeze, I thank you and the people around you are thanking you, because now they're not going to get your cold. But remember, It's not as tightly woven, so it's not going to protect you like you may think. And again, if you're using this because of sickness, you can pull this off using the rubber bands. Don't touch the front. The moment you touch the front, you're contaminating your hands. Now that's just one example of some of the masks that I'm seeing people wearing. Stanley produces a dust mask as well. This looks like the N95 respirators that a lot of people see in the hospitals. It's a clamshell kind of a mask. Now, this is more what you see in the hospitals. The one that's fitted to me is a newer style. And right now, with everything that's going on, I think the newer styles are harder to find. So you're seeing an awful lot of these clamshells. But this one here, again, I can tell that this is a dust mask, not an N95 respirator, because it has one band. And again, this one here, you take it, you place it over your mouth and nose, and you take the band and it goes above your ears. Still has a metal tab. Pinch that metal tab. And by doing that, you can now have a fairly good seal. If you have a cold, you may be able to stop the germs from spreading as easily. And I'm going to emphasize as easily, because it's still possible to spread them. These are not medical masks. They are not designed to stop diseases, not even the cold. And as I'm wearing this, I can feel, as I breathe out, I'm not even blowing, just as I'm breathing out, I can feel I do not have a good seal. So this, it's not going to protect you like you might think. Same thing, take it off with the rubber bands. Now here's another one. I'm not going to pop this open because you've already seen it, but this one here really looks like the medical masks. And to make matters even worse, it's from 3M. So right now you're looking at this thinking 3M, they're the makers of the medical masks. These will protect me. No, they will not. These are not 3M N95 respirators. These are 3M dust masks. They just look really cool. It's not going to protect you. The thing that you're seeing an awful lot of is these masks here. These are called ear loop masks because they have little rubber loops that will go around your ears. Now, this is what a lot of people are wearing. This is going to stop people from spreading the common cold. It is not going to stop COVID-19. It's not going to stop the flu. Is this effective? Excuse me. Is this effective if you don't have a cold? No, it's a waste of time. I'm not going to stop you if you feel better wearing this. By all means, if it makes you feel better and you have to go shopping, wear this. What would work better? Don't go shopping. Unfortunately, you don't want to starve to death. If this is going to make you feel better, remember, these have to be worn properly as well. When these come out of the package, you'll notice there's two sides. Some of them are blue, some of them are yellow. What you'll notice is one side is going to be darker than the other. And if it isn't darker than the other, take a look at the side that the loops are on. That's the side that goes to the face. Find the little metal tab. There's just a little teeny metal tab in there. That goes to the top. So we take this, place it over our mouth and nose, put the ear loops around the ears. Go figure. Now, I see a lot of people, they're wearing them like this. That does nothing. Their nose is exposed. If anybody sneezes, they're going to breathe in all that disgusting stuff, and they're going to wind up getting whatever it is that person had that they just sneezed out. Make sure it's over top of the nose. Pinch down that metal tab. If you don't pinch that metal tab down, it did nothing. Pull down the bottom. Make sure it's completely covering your nose and your mouth. If it does not cover your nose and your mouth, you've done nothing. It's a waste of time. These masks, every single one of them that I've mentioned, have a short lifespan. So when you put this on and you've been out and about, it needs to come off fairly frequently. If you're out there talking to somebody and you've got this mask on and you've been talking for 10 or 15 minutes, it's time to go away and change this mask. As you exhale, moisture is coming out. That moisture is deteriorating the mask. It's causing it to make it so that germs can get through much easier. Now, again, I have bare hands here. So again, I'm going to show you how to take this one off. You're going to grab the bands. and you're going to pull it off this way. You don't want to touch the front of the mask. The moment you touch the front of the mask, you have contaminated your hands again. So that's defeating the purpose. So now you've seen how some of these masks work. I'm really hoping that you understand a lot of the false hopes that people have with these things. They think that this is going to save their life. First of all, stay home. Second of all, if you can't stay home, and unfortunately I can't, I'm out in the community every day because of my job. I have to be, and I'm in and out of the hospitals. I do not wear those masks. However, I can tell you right now, I've cleaned my hands so many times, they are sore right now from the chemical cleaners. The alcohol wipes, they do bother your hands after a while. Use hand sanitizer all the time, and use a lotion as well at the end of the day, just to make sure that your hands don't get raw and chapped. If they get raw and chapped, they're going to start cracking. That makes you more susceptible to the diseases. So use hand sanitizer. More importantly, use soap and water. Soap and water is more important than hand sanitizer because it does a better job. Hand sanitizer is when you don't have a sink. I use an awful lot of hand sanitizer during the course of the day. I'm in and out of the hospitals. I'll go into the hospital in a period of about 5 minutes. I have washed my hands 4 times. That's in 5 minutes, and this is without touching anything. I walk in, I don't touch anything, I clean my hands. I go and do what I have to do, I clean my hands. As I'm getting ready to come out, I clean my hands. And when I get back into my vehicle, when I get back into the bus, I clean my hands because I have hand sanitizer there as well. So I am cleaning my hands so often right now. I'm in and out of the hospitals. I've already mentioned that. I did not mention that I wear gloves. The reason is because I don't. I would rather clean my hands than have that misnomer of thinking that gloves are going to protect me. Again, I've seen people put gloves on in the morning and they leave them on all day. That's useless. I got some gloves here. And first of all, to put these gloves on and take them off, it's very important that you do it properly. Putting them on is no big deal. Everybody knows how to put gloves on. Doesn't matter if it's left hand first, right hand first, doesn't matter. But once you've got these gloves on, you need to remember the surface of these gloves were clean. Now it's not. The moment you put them on, assume that the surface is dirty. Doesn't matter what's on there. A little bit of dust from touching things, diseases, vaccines, or viruses, whatever it could be on here. So if you've been dealing with somebody, or you've been out walking around and you touch that shopping cart, and then while you're sitting there pondering, gee, I wonder what kind of cereal I should buy. You're taking those germs and you're putting them in your mouth. You're putting them on your face. So it's very important that you do not touch your face, with or without these gloves. Doing this with gloves or without gloves is the same thing. The difference is if you're doing this with gloves, you think you're protected. You're wrong. These gloves, the moment I put them on, they are infected with whatever is around. Now, when you go to take these off, this is where a lot of people have issues. They take them off, and they are taking them off incorrectly, and they're spreading the disease around. So what you want to do when you take these off is you want to take them off one at a time, grab the outside of the glove, peel it off inside out. You can take that glove, bundle it up in your hand, take your other hand, which is still clean, you're going to take your finger and you're going to put it inside the other glove, and you're going to turn that inside out. Quite amazing. Little package here. All the icky stuff is in here. It's not outside anymore. It's contained. So once I've done that, this is very important. Once I've done that, I want to clean my hands using hand sanitizer. If you can't use a sink, use hand sanitizer. If you don't do that, when you take those gloves off, and you don't take those gloves off properly, you've defeated the entire purpose. That's something that you need to be aware of. If you don't know that you're not protecting yourself, you're in more danger. Now I'm going to show you how to wash your hands. Very important. When you wash your hands, use warm water. Get your hands wet. Put some soap on your hands. Rub in between your fingers, your thumbs. Get your wrists. Make sure that you keep rubbing and get all the little spots around jewelry that you don't take off. I can't take my ring off, so I'm kind of stuck with that. And do this while you sing Happy Birthday twice. Once you're finished, dry your hands. And shut off the water. If you're in a public restroom, try and use paper towel to dry your hands. You get a better job because you're rubbing your hands longer with the paper towel. If you have to use the dryers, then just make sure you rub your hands really good.
Hi, I'm back again. I'm not an expert in PPE. I do have an underlying health condition. It's called multiple sclerosis, which is a condition affecting my immune system. So I have been following this disease since early January. Every day I've been watching about it because I need to learn about it so I can protect myself and those around me. Because it will be easy for me to catch this disease. There's a lot of misinformation out there. First of all, you should pay attention to the WHO and the CDC and the Canadian government. But please understand that the Canadian government is different from the American government. We did stockpile masks and PPE before this happened. We sent some to China. People are angry about that because now they're saying we need it. Well, guess what? China's now sending it back to us. So we saved lives by sending it to China. Okay, so the American hospitals have been asking people to make homemade masks. So when they run out of the N95 masks, the homemade masks will be better than nothing. We need to protect our healthcare workers because if we get sick, we need them to take care of us or we are going to die. So by people stockpiling all these masks and hoarding them for themselves, it's doing no good because you're not using them correctly, and the healthcare workers are the people that need them. And these people are out there fighting this disease for us. We need them. We need to help them. So if you've stockpiled all these masks, how about staying inside for a couple of weeks and donating those masks to the hospitals? I do go out shopping if I have to. Most of the shopping is done by Alan, my husband, because he's already out. And when he comes home from working, he showers. That's when he's having a shower, so that any germs that are on him are washed off. Now, that just takes care of him. Now, what about our vehicle? You need to clean your vehicle. If you go outside, you need to clean your steering wheel. Your hands have touched that steering wheel. You need to clean doorknobs. If people have come into your house that have been out and about and they start touching doorknobs and light switches, you need to clean them. It doesn't take that long. You take a Lysol wipe and you just wipe it. It doesn't take long. You can do that in 5 minutes. Keep your bathroom cleaned because that's where a lot of viruses are.
Now, with that in mind, you don't have to spend $30 on wipes from somebody who's trying to rip you off. If you can't find wipes, use paper towel or just a cloth, an actual cloth, and use some sort of a liquid that's a disinfectant liquid. For some reason, nobody's stockpiling that stuff. They're just stockpiling the expensive wipes.
So please go to the official channels to get your information. Do not look on Facebook. Some people are making videos and putting them on YouTube, and yes, they're going to make money off of it. I get that. But they're taking a paper towel and folding it up. Water goes through paper towels. Why wouldn't an airborne disease go through it? I don't understand this. You need to keep in touch with the CDC and the WHO and the Canadian government. Everything's changing every day. You need to keep on top of this. Your best bet is to stay away from people. I know it's not fun. I get it. I'm here with my 2 grandchildren. I'm tired. That's all I can say. I'm just tired. But I have to understand they're bored too, and we can't go to the parks, we can't do anything. But we're all in this together, and if all of us stay away from everybody and obey the rules, this will pass. It will pass. It passed in China, and that was the epicenter, and they didn't keep on top of it right away. Canada did. I wish they had closed the borders earlier, but they did eventually close the borders, and now we're on top of it. So if we can keep people inside, away from other people for a little while longer, it will pass. I don't know how much longer, a couple weeks, months, maybe even 2 months. I'm hoping not that long. People have to obey the rules. Please, 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 for everybody, obey the rules.
Okay, now, with that in mind, I really hope we've given you some information here that's going to help you. Now, I am going to be distributing this video to all of my friends and my family. I hope they pass it along to their friends and family members as well, because I want this to get out there. I don't see this as misinformation. I see this as accurate information. Everything I've learned from 3M. I've learned from doctors, from nurses. I've taken courses from Sunnybrook and McMaster Medical Center. All of the stuff that I'm giving you is information that I've received over the years of training. So, with everything that we've said in mind, I hope you're going to get some good information from this. Please bear in mind that my expertise is not with video making, so I really hope that I'm able to edit this down and you'll be able to get the information without an awful lot of extra stuff that's just annoying to watch. If you like this information, please pass it along to somebody. Make sure everyone has this information. If there's anything that you're questioning, any concerns that you have, please let me know. Apparently you can leave comments or something and we can supposedly answer you.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, somehow or another we're going to figure it out, and we'll get back to everybody that has any questions. Again, this is not done professionally. I want this for my friends and my family. If you're watching this, please consider us friends. Thank you very much. Stay safe. Stay at home.